Hello and welcome to Lincoln Christian High School. We are back for the 2020 Lincoln Christian Crusader volleyball season here on the Crusader Sports Network on Strive TV. I'm Keith Miles. Zach Cassabaum will join me for the game here in a little bit, but in this really unprecedented year of 2020, we're going to play some volleyball here tonight. Things look a little different. You'll see the benches are kind of spaced out for social distancing. The officials wearing masks and some of the players on the benches wearing masks. The players don't have to, obviously, but and then fans spread out a little bit as well in the seats. But nonetheless, we're going to play some high school volleyball tonight, and then tomorrow night we're going to play some high school football, and we'll have it all for you here on the Crusader Sports Network. So we're glad that you could join us. It's a new year. The Crusaders look a lot different this year. We had 7 seniors on last year's squad that graduated, so a lot of spots to fill on the roster. We had to have a few girls that had some experience last year that are back, including some juniors now. No seniors on this year's roster, but you've got some junior captains that will be leading this squad that we'll talk about throughout tonight. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with your game in just a bit.
I'm Joe Manley.
And I'm Grace Manley. And we have a 3-month-old daughter named Finley.
One of the reasons we wanted to send Finley to Lincoln Christian was the culture and the community that has and how it just surrounds the kids in Christ, and it's just a great environment.
I kind of married into a family that sent all of their kids here, and I've gotten to see how Lincoln Christian teaches these kids how to become great adults and great moms and dads to their families, and it's just been really cool to see that from this perspective.
Good evening and welcome to Lincoln Christian for some further good volleyball action. Our guests on the scoreboard, the Mustangs from Concordia High School. Sitting battle with your Lincoln Christian Crusaders. Please stand with me for our opening prayer. We're led by our LCS High School Principal, Mr. Brent Hales. Then remain standing for our national anthem, presented by a junior student here, Callie Larson.
Let's pray. Father God, I just ask that we would come before you with humble and thankful hearts this evening, just to have the opportunity to gather and compete, play the game of volleyball. And Lord, we just know that it's part of your sovereign plan. And so we thank you for allowing us to be tonight, and us to get back to some sense of normalcy. Lord, just for our athletes out here, just keep them safe. Ask that they would compete to your glory. And our friends from Concordia, give them safe travel as they head back home tonight. And Lord, for just our friends from Concordia, just a common bond to Jesus Christ and his sacrifice on the cross. Lord, we thank you for that, and that we can compete together for your glory and put talents and gifts that you have blessed these young ladies with on display this evening. So God, just ask for a great evening, and again, thank you for this opportunity, and ask that you'll just be with us throughout this night. It's in your son's name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets ringing, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Robert Larson, thank you. Now for the starting lineups for tonight's match. For the Mustangs from Concordia High School, number 3, the sophomore, Jenna Rose. Number 4, the libero, the freshman, Abby Discipline. Number 6, a freshman, Kaylin Pribble. Number 9, a sophomore, Kylie Comer. Number 11, a junior, Lily Meyer. And number 12, a senior, Alana Lewis. Excuse me, one more with the libero 7, number 13, freshman Brooklyn Snyder. The Mustangs are coached by Rick Hughes, Stephanie Gay, and Jordan Cervantes, assisted by Sheila Prescott. And now for your Lincoln Christian Crusaders. Number 2, a junior, Lee L. Power. Number 4, a sophomore, Paisley Garth. Number 10, a junior, Jenna Rothbaum. Number 12, a junior, Addie Ehlers. Number 14, a junior, Sarah Cunningham. And number 16, a junior, Haley Goldman. Crusaders is coached by Lisa Bartell, assisted by Belinda Allen, Tiffany Leonida, Andrea Kirchhoff, and Sarah Jones. Let's play volleyball.
All right, ready for volleyball action. 2020 season is about ready to get underway officially. We had the Jamboree game on Tuesday night, but now they start counting. Crusaders got some good experience Tuesday against Newman and Lincoln Pius. Pius, a very strong team, actually rated in the top 25 nationally, and I think the USA Today poll, and Newman always a tough team, so that was some good competition. And do you think that got us ready, Zach?
I do. It was fun to watch. Our girls didn't back down at all. As you know, took Lincoln Pius both sets into the 20s, 26-24 the final set. Just it was fun to see our girls play free and compete.
And again, if you're looking out there and you're saying something looks odd, there's no person in a white shirt. That's because we're not playing with the libero this year, which is not a requirement. Most teams do, but not going to go with one for the Crusaders this year. Here we go. Concordia gets the first serve. And that's number 11, Meyer, who served it. Good save by Power, and Dahlman into the net. So Concordia takes the lead.
Just got to get those first point jitters out a little bit there. Haley, during the scrimmages, just really passed well, and she'll get it.
Lily Meyer, a junior, 6 foot. Good block by Power at the net. And there's a hit by Comer. Ehlers, and now Wiltfong has the first kill of the year for Lincoln Christian.
Jenna has just really come along. You see it. I saw it in the scrimmage, and she could be a force in the middle this year, Keith.
And sometimes just looking at the program, they have her listed as 6'1". I think they took an inch or two off of her.
I do. When I stand by her in the hallway, I'm pretty much looking in her eye to eye.
Oh, and there's a miscue by Concordia, and the Crusaders have the lead. So Power will serve again. Both these teams with a young lineup. Crusaders, no seniors on the roster, 5 juniors and 1 sophomore starting. And there's a hit from Pribble.
Great.
And that one they're going to give to Concordia. Not sure if that was a block or just a hit into the net. Either way, Concordia gets the point. Kaylin Pribble to serve. She had an older sister a few years ago that was really good for Concordia. Or at least I'm assuming it was a sister. There's Power with the hit. The libero De Stefano hits it. And the swing now by Comer. Over to Cunningham, and she's going to go long. And Concordia back in front.
That's okay. They got a big block there. Our girls just got to settle down a little bit.
And this is Pribble, who's ready to serve again. Oh, and a rotation error called on the Crusaders.
I would love to pretend I know all the details of the rotations in volleyball, but all I saw is potentially we started moving a little too soon there.
Yeah, kind of like illegal motion in football, right? Move before the snap.
What a nice set.
And that one just long. A good swing by Darst, but just a bit long. Yeah. Unfortunately, good setup, but then she just couldn't bring it home.
Yeah. Speaking of sisters, it just kind of runs in the blood there with Brielle setting. She's done a great job in the scrimmage and laying it on the money tonight.
And Ehlers with the set from Power. A good swing, but Concordia returns it. And that one is just long. The Crusaders get the point. That's Eva Hansen. Doesn't quite find the end line. And we've got the Cuciti team doing the line judging tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, we do.
Former player Allison Cuciti and her dad, Chris, doing line judge. And that's Cunningham into the net.
It's a family affair as her mom's tracking the libero for the other team for us tonight and keeping book. So thanks to the Cucitis.
I guess if you're libero tracker, you only have half as much work to do tonight since we don't have one. So. And that's Dahlman, and then a miscue. And again, communication sometimes. Well, communication is always a big key in volleyball, and sometimes early in the season you're still kind of getting used to where you're at in the rotation and who's next to you and whose ball it is. So hopefully they'll work those things out. The serve by Schneider. And an ace for Brooklyn Snyder.
Take a good timeout here and let our girls settle down. We have a lot of athleticism on the floor, but when you look out there, we don't have a lot of girls that have a lot of varsity court time, and so it's just different when you start a real varsity game tonight. But I do think they'll calm down, settle down, and we have good players on the floor, and they'll get it together.
And, of course, a brand-new coaching staff for the Crusaders. So tell us a little bit about our new head coach.
Yeah, Coach Bartels is the first thing. Everybody calls her Bartles, but
sure.
it's Bartels. And just a strong Christian woman wanting to invest in kids with a great volleyball pedigree and background. As most people know, she was on the University of Nebraska's volleyball team and actually got hurt as a freshman, but was voted the best player in Kansas as a high school senior, and just so obviously knows the game and talented. But what I've seen, just really investing in our kids to be better women, and ultimately they're really focusing on them finding their identity in Christ and using volleyball as a vehicle to do that.
And she has a national championship ring from her time with the Huskers, the 95 championship team. Here's Ehlers with the swing, and right down the line, and that's a good hit by Addie Ehlers to stop the run for the Concordia Mustangs.
Yeah. Addie's potentially one of our most explosive hitters, and it'd be nice to see her get going and get confidence. She can really bring it.
And now Jenna Wildfong serving. Jenna, this is a new territory for her. Last year she never got to serve much and had a decent serve there to get started. Here is Cunningham to power, and she goes with the dump. And another point for the Crusaders.
Just a heads-up play by Brielle there. Good court awareness.
And Brielle's sister Barrett did a lot of that last year for the Crusaders. And another good serve by Jenna right down the line, and that'll be an ace.
Yeah, 2 nice serves in a row. Let's see if she can keep this run going.
So again, we mentioned no seniors on the Crusader team, reminiscent of a couple of years ago for the girls basketball team when we had a team with no seniors on it. And there, Concordia tries the dump, and Lily Meyer gets it down. So,
hopefully this volleyball team will have a similar outcome to that basketball team
right,
we're
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, that's right. No seniors, and they still made state tournament. So this is Kate Birkland, who's in to serve for the Mustangs. And a net serve. Gives it back over to the Crusaders. They're down by 2. Crusaders and Concordia, I'm not sure if I have the entire history, but Lincoln Christian is 8-14 against Concordia. But we have won the last 5 in a row.
Wow.
And a good dig in the back row by Wildfong. And a good save by Cunningham, but then Crusaders can't finish on it, but good hustle.
Yeah, what a great effort by Sarah Cunningham. And again, just another really talented athletic player on the floor. I think this team's going to be scrappy.
And you've got, the 6 starters for the Crusaders. Cunningham and Dahlman got a lot of good experience on the JV team last year. Service error gives the point to Lincoln Christian. The other 4 all played a lot of varsity action. So Crusaders have had experience on the floor, even if it's not all on the varsity team last year.
Absolutely.
And that one just drops in. That's one of those where, for the Crusaders, you got to go get that ball, even if you think it might be out of bounds. I know you don't have much time to think about it, but you got to go for it.
Yeah, you don't want to ever get caught standing. And right now, Concordia's been helping us out with serving the ball in the net about 4 times already tonight.
And that'll be an ace for DeStefano, the libero. She's just a freshman. So, Concordia, they started a senior, a junior, 3 sophomores, and a freshman tonight. And another good serve. Power sends it over. Meyer with the set. Pribble with the swing. And now Power sets for Cunningham and blocked and down for Concordia.
This is a little bit of a transition for Sarah Cunningham, who played primarily setter at the junior varsity level last year. But again, as she gains confidence, she's going to be a threat. She can really get off the floor and has the ability to attack.
DeStefano serves. Darst to Power, to Cunningham, and right over the fingertips and down. So there's a kill for Sarah Cunningham. Sarah, 5'6" junior. And at our first set break, we're going to hear just a little bit of an interview with Sarah and Brielle Power. And then we'll hear more of that interview during halftime of our football game tomorrow. Good serve by Dahlman. And Wiltfong Concordia plays it, and they get the point. So one of the things that's going to be different this year, at least as the season starts, is you don't switch ends after the sets, right? You stay on your end for the whole night.
Yeah, you do. You know, there's just a ton of precautions in place, and doing everything we can to just make sure that our girls continue to play. And ultimately, you know, some of those things, even if they are at times a little bit overboard, you know, if that's what it takes to keep our girls on the court and our kids in school, then those are precautions we'll take.
Good serve by Power. Now Meyer over to Pribble, into the block, and the Crusaders almost. Boy,
man.
They kept fighting, but the point goes to Omaha Concordia. So this is Eva Hansen who will serve for Omaha Concordia. Crusaders and Concordia used to play late in the season until last year, and then it got moved up to the beginning of the season. And I think Concordia had some sort of a conflict last year, and then I guess we've kept it here at the start of the year.
Really nice back row attack by Addie Ehlers there.
And Lincoln Christian with the point. Still down by 4, 15-11. Cunningham with a good serve. Meyer sets. Swing by Snyder, and down.
Oh, man, just caught the tape and kind of right in between their hands.
Yeah, that I sound like a broken record because I think I probably say that one or two times every game. It's like if you could, whether it's a serve or a hit, if you could learn that so you could graze the top of the tape every time, why, you do have a real skill.
Absolutely.
Dahlman with the dig. Power for Wiltfong.
Just a beautiful set on the money, a great hit, but just a really nice dig.
This time it's Darst with the swing. And
there we go.
And a good hit by Comer, but just a bit wide, so Lincoln Christian with the point. And for Paisley Darst, this is kind of new territory for her because she played libero all last year and has pretty much done that, I think, in her volleyball career as far as back row and libero kind of play, so getting moved up into a hitter role this year. And now they're reversing the call. They say there was a touch there, and I kind of wondered about that. It looked like there might have been, but...
Well, we're going to, you know, honestly, that shows just the honesty of Allison Cuccitti, right?
Right.
An alumni volleyball player coming in and making that call, but that's what we'd want if it's the right call.
And a good serve there, and that'll be an ace. That was, let's see, that was Pribble who served that. And Lincoln Christian will take a timeout. It's 18-11. Crusaders trail. Again, they started the season with Concordia last year and had a 3-set sweep, a Lincoln Christian win last year. And Concordia struggled a bit last year. They had a huge senior class the year before. And actually, that senior class, when they were sophomores, I believe, maybe freshmen, they won the state championship that year and then had a strong run. Although that year, 2 years ago, Lincoln Christian beat Concordia 3 straight times. But Concordia did end up making the district finals, and they were one win away from the state tournament 2 years ago. And then last year finished 7-23, but again lost a ton of seniors, just like Lincoln Christian did from last year to this year.
Yeah,
so
you know, you see that both a little bit when you have this young of players playing. I don't like to use the term rebuilding year or anything like that because I think these girls are solid players, and I think they can have a great season. It's just going to take them a little bit to get comfortable and confident.
And Jenna Wiltfong ends up in the net. She was trying to keep the ball alive and just grazed the net. So now it's an 8-point lead for Concordia, 6 away from set 1. And another service error. That's probably got to be at least a half a dozen service errors that they've had.
Yeah, I actually believe it is. So they need to clean that up, and we need to take care of every opportunity we get.
And that is an ace for Jenna Wiltfong. So I was saying Jenna hadn't really had a chance to serve till this year, but she's come out pretty strong here in this first set and behind the line.
Another nice serve.
And Meyer punches it up, and they're going to give it to the Crusaders. I think that's going to be a net call on Concordia. Hansen in the net.
Hopefully Jenna can keep this run going.
And here she comes. Good serve and an ace. And Jenna, with the height that Jenna has, it's almost like she's serving downhill.
That pretty much just looked straight down, didn't it?
Yeah. That's what you watch. You know, you watch college volleyball, and some of these girls that are 6'3", 6'4", and then they do a jump serve, and they really are swinging downhill when they're serving.
Absolutely. You know, the other. Sorry, cut off there watching this point, getting engaged in the point for a second.
And it goes to Concordia. It is wide. And in for Concordia, that's Kate Birkland. She goes back to serve. And again, we talk about Concordia with a young team. They've got 3 seniors, but only one of them has played so far tonight, and that one is long, another service error.
Wow, this is something else. I don't know if he's, you know, they decided they're going to serve real aggressively and go for spots tonight, but
yeah.
I think I might change that strategy at this point for a little bit.
That's Darst with the serve. Meyer sets. And that swing is long by Hansen.
Oh,
they say a touch, okay.
I'd maybe ask for a second opinion on that one.
And the call is going to stand. Concordia is just 4 away from set 1. Good dig by Wiltfong, but it goes wide.
I didn't see that for Concordia. Who got that kill? Or serve?
That's 12. That's Lewis who's serving.
Yeah, there we go.
And so she has an ace followed up by a service error. So we need a run now if you're Lincoln Christian. We're down by 5, and Concordia at 22, 17 for the Crusaders. And Addie Ehlers a nice soft serve, but it goes a bit wide.
Well, we're not handling prosperity tonight. They're giving us a lot of points here, and again, it's a long game and a long match still. But
DeStefano with a good serve and power with the tip, and Brielle has the kill for the Crusaders.
You know, just a great heads-up play again. She was put in a really tough spot there, figuring out what to do with that.
And Dahlman with the serve. Good serve from Haley Dahlman. And they're going to say a 2-hit call on Concordia. So the Crusaders climbing back into it. Down by 4.
Yeah, we can get one more here. You're going to feel that momentum coming.
And the momentum left. So I was just about to say, Haley has a good serve. And I remember a couple of JV games last year where she had a nice run, serving 5 or 6 in a row. And so we'll be looking for that tonight at some point here. This is Meyer with the serve and an ace for Lily Meyer, the junior setter. And that gives the Mustangs set number 1. It's 25-19. Concordia with the win. We'll take a break. We're going to hear from Brielle Power and Sarah Cunningham and then be back with set 2.
Last volleyball season, there were 7 seniors on the varsity team. This year, there's not a single senior. How will that make a difference this year?
Well, I think that's a big difference, especially since, like, as juniors, we're coming from sophomore, which is underclassmen, and then now we have to lead the whole team. So that's we're taking on a lot more responsibility and have to do a lot more. So that just takes adjusting to.
Yeah.
So junior year is like it's supposed to be an extra year or like looking.
Kind of like a transition year.
Yeah. So like learning how to be the senior, but now this year you have to be the senior.
Yeah, I think it'll take a lot of, like you said, adjusting too, and we're just gonna have to do our best.
So does that put any extra pressure on you to compete or to lead or?
I would say a little bit, but like our teammates know too, and like they're kind of right there with us, helping lead. Even like some of the underclassmen, like the sophomores, are stepping up
Yeah, we all know each other pretty well, especially since we're in consecutive grades.
Hey Crusader fans, thanks for watching. We appreciate all your support. And my name's Brent Ailes, secondary principal here at Lincoln Christian, and I'm so glad that you're all tuning in to watch tonight's action.
All right, back at Lincoln Christian for set number 2. Concordia took the first one, 25-19. And Lincoln Christian will try to battle back. Again, no switching of sides, so the Crusaders will stay on the same end the whole night, and Concordia as well. And I guess there's not really any advantage gained by staying on the same side. It's not like you're playing with or into the wind.
No. Maybe we can figure out how to try to do that.
Yeah, right. So Lincoln Christian will try to battle back, and they will get the serve to start set number 2. Brielle Power will serve. And Brielle had a nagging hip injury last year that kind of bothered her through the summer and then off and on through volleyball season and even a little bit to start in basketball season. So hopefully she has recovered. And frankly, one of the good things about the coronavirus is that she didn't have a chance to play spring or summer volleyball much. Everything was pretty much shut down, so that the rest might have been good for her.
You know, I think it did cause some people to slow down and help them. And, you know, in talking with Brielle, I don't want to speak for her, but it seems like that she's feeling a little bit better here, and obviously she's a huge asset to the team.
And she starts with an ace. Promising start for Lincoln Christian. And again, as we go on here in this set, maybe we can talk a little bit, too, about some of the other assistant coaches for the Crusaders. Dorinda Allen is a returning assistant. The other ones are new. Another good serve by Brielle. Meyer over to Pribble. And then Power sets for Wiltfong.
Come on.
Oh, and Jenna had good position, but just couldn't get it down on the other side of the net.
Yep. I thought we were going to see one put down with a little authority there.
Lily Meyer serving now for Concordia. Power to Wiltfong, and a kill for Jenna.
There you go. And just good offense there. That was nice to see. A good pass, a good set, and Jenna ready for the quick set in the middle.
Here comes Sarah Cunningham, and a good hard serve by Sarah, but just about 5 inches too low. And I know it's interesting. I've talked to a few different volleyball coaches along the way about service errors, and some coaches, they don't mind a few service errors because if you're serving aggressively and trying to put it right down the line or in the back corner, they'll be okay with a few that don't get there. But I think, the serves into the net are the ones that can really make you pull your hair out.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a good swing from Dahlman from the back row. And straight up in the air, Cunningham plays it. Power for Ehlers, and right in the back corner.
What a nice spot there. Great job by the Crusaders. So to your point, yes, I definitely think coaches come out with the game plan on how aggressive they're going to be in attacking with the serve, and it'll be interesting to me to see if Concordia changes that a little bit, knowing they gave us almost double-digit points off their serve.
And here comes a free ball over for Lincoln Christian. Power over to Ehlers.
Oh, that a goal.
And a great save by Concordia. Brielle tries the dump. Concordia plays it. And another free ball, but it grazed the top of the tape. And here comes Ehlers.
Off a hand, definitely a touch.
And Lincoln Christian gets the point. And I'm thinking, Addie, it looks like that's going to come down on their side of the net. Be careful. She's jumping up there like she's going to try to block it, and I just didn't want her to end up falling into the net.
Yeah, you bet. What a great effort. And great to see her just swinging free and aggressively.
And, boy, whatever Jenna had for breakfast today, it's really worked for her serves. She is just having quite a run tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So, again, serving with confidence.
Another strong one, grazes the top of the net. And a two-hit call on Concordia. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking about 6 or 7 years ago, before my daughter really started playing a lot of volleyball, I don't know that I could have told you what a two-hit call was. And now look at me. I'm sitting here calling it before I see the official even signal it. Not that I'm an expert, but in any event.
No.
Oh, and Crusaders can't save it. Darce tries to pull it out of the net. I tell you what, though, it's a different feeling sitting up here and watching a game and not having a daughter out on the floor.
Yeah, I bet it is. You know, well, we're glad that you continue to hang in there with us. And, and that right there was, I think, their diaper dandy, their freshman, number 13, just serving it into the net. But a good player.
Yeah, that's Brooklyn Snyder. And a good dive by Darce to save it. And the Crusaders don't get the point. Just a bit wide, but Lincoln Christian again with some good hustle. That's the one thing about volleyball. I mean, sometimes you can have a lot of hustle on a play and still you don't end up with the point. But okay, this is Kate Birkland who's in to serve. Crusaders up by 3. Power sets. Wiltfong from the back row. Good dig by Concordia. And now Cunningham for Ehlers.
You know what? Great swing by Addie Ehlers again. And for her second kill of this set. So let's see if we can't get her going. I'd love to see Jenna just swing freely from behind that 10-foot line as well, because obviously she has the height and athleticism to do it.
And Addie grazes the tape for an ace.
Well, you called it. You know, maybe we've been practicing.
Yeah, that's right. I gotta bring my thesaurus next time. I'm gonna probably say the word graze too much. I like to say that phrase, grazes the top of the tape. But it should be a volleyball or a sports thesaurus. I can't even say it, thesaurus. Okay, so tell us a little bit about some of our other assistant coaches.
Well, you mentioned Coach Allen already, who, again, is on our teaching staff here and a strong Christian woman, and actually, you know, a good playing experience. Ended up playing at a Christian school after being recruited her first year out at a Division I Montana State. Tiffany Leonida, also a school family and wanting to get involved in the school program, played college volleyball. And, you know, a tall gal, as you can see, but her specialty's in setting. And I'll jump down here to Sarah Jones, which is her maiden name, Sarah Mertens. So her mom played for the University of Nebraska, and Sarah played college volleyball at a couple different places and was just a great athlete. Actually came from Parkview Christian School, where I was superintendent there, and got to watch her play. So a great staff just speaking into our girls and very knowledgeable with the game.
There's a good swing by number 7, Hansen, and the point goes to Concordia. So they stop the run out of the timeout. It's 9-5. We're working hard, 9-5, right? You don't. You get some of those. You know, you get 9-5. You get 10-4. Good buddies sometimes for a score. You know.
Yep. Well, Brielle and Haley had a great block on that. I'm not for sure what happened, and so we just need to communicate here a little bit.
Right. And there's a mishit from Addie, and that gives the point to the Mustangs. So they're back within 3. Yeah, the Crusaders had a nice lead, and you want to now stop the Concordia run. Power with a good set. Dahlman with a swing off the block by Concordia. Dig from Ehlers, and now a swing from Cunningham. And Sarah again, and this time into the net. So out of the timeout, 3 in a row for the Mustangs. Concordia, one of the Centennial Conference brethren. Or maybe if it's a girls' team, they're sisterin. Maybe, I'm not sure what you say. Let's just say one of the fellow Centennial Conference teams here. And Dahlman with a good serve. Concordia is under it. And now a punch at the net and give Wiltfong the kill on that.
Jenna Wiltfong with her second kill of the set.
So it's 11-7 now. And another good serve by Dahlman, but just a bit wide. So again, trying to hug that line. Abby DeStefano, who is their freshman libero. So Concordia, again, they have got some good young players, and they're going to be a good team in the next few years. Here's Ehlers, and that's going to go long. And again, she had good position, but you got to learn to kind of control your swing a little bit here. Easy for me to say, but sometimes you kind of want to kind of wind up and just hit it as hard as you can. But another service error by the Mustangs.
Well, thankful for their serving here, and they have slowed down on their service errors a little bit, but I think we're playing the better volleyball right now. We just can't give them anything.
And that's Meyer, and the pass over from Birkeland. A good dig by Dahlman. And a good swing by Pribble, but the Crusaders play it, and then Concordia ends up with the point.
Well, I think Paisley Darst gave that block everything she had. I mean, it was enough that it got the ball back up, and just great effort by her there.
And again, before this year, she wasn't going to be getting any blocks in the stat sheets when she's playing libero.
Nope, that's for sure.
And there's a tape grazer, a tape right over the top and down for Meyer.
Yeah, just trying to help you out. You could say shaved or scraped or rubbed or skimmed.
Oh, okay, there you go. Shaved, that's a good one. That's a nice one, yep. And that one, the shave's a little not close enough because it didn't come down on the other side. Service error goes to the Crusaders, the point does, and Cunningham now with a 2-point lead for Lincoln Christian, about halfway through this second set.
Wow. Both teams just really struggling, taking control of the game and making the other team have to make plays.
And so the Crusaders with it's like this. It seems like it's this way every year. I remember last year as well. You really start the season with a whole bunch of games over about the first week and a half. There's a swing from Ehlers, and that one finds the back line.
Good job. Addie with her third kill of the set. And also just a great set to her, set her up far enough off the net where she could swing freely.
Here comes Wiltfong again. She's had some nice runs tonight. Another good serve.
Ooh.
And a good punch by Darst to get it over. And a little bit of a roll shot there by Hansen, took a little bit off of it, and the Crusaders let it fall for a point for Concordia. They're back within one. So Lincoln Christian headed to Minden on Saturday for a tournament.
Yeah, they'll actually be playing my alma mater.
Oh, yeah.
School there, Hebron High, now Thayer Central.
There's Snyder with the serve, and that'll be an ace for Brooklyn Snyder in a tie game. Yeah, that's last year in that tournament, that was the championship game, Lincoln Christian and Thayer Central, and the Crusaders fell to Thayer Central. And it was one where we played like 4 games, and I think played hard but kind of ran out of gas by the end of the day.
Yep.
But let's see, it looks like Minden, Ainsworth, Blue Hill, Centennial, Fillmore Central, Thayer Central, and Valentine all in that tournament. I think that's, if I remember right, that's the same lineup from last year.
Yeah, it's a tournament full of talent. It'll be a lot of fun. So I'll be reaching out back home and trying to get some tape for Coach Bartels to scout on.
Yeah. There you go. Crusaders back up by 2 after Concordia tied it. Next week then, Tuesday night at Fremont Bergen. And then next Saturday, a week from Saturday, tournament up at Wahoo.
I think our coach is there kind of looking at the same thing. Maybe I was there. I'm wondering why that wasn't called a lift. But again, I don't claim to know the game and fine details.
This is Berkland who's in to serve.
She's been a nice, consistent server tonight.
And that'll be a block from Meyer.
Yep, you know, Lily has just really been a presence at the net tonight. She's really been a difference maker at this point.
We're tied at 16. Power sets. Wiltfong swings from the back, just a little bit too low. And the point goes to Concordia. So Lincoln Christian had a 5-point lead early on, and now Concordia has battled back to take a 1-point lead. And timeout by Lincoln Christian. So let's see. Did we I think we had another coach maybe that you didn't mention yet. Andrea, right?
Yeah, Andrea was a late ad and actually has a connection with Coach Bartels and just brings, again, you know, a wide variety of experiences to the game. So just feeling very blessed to have the staff that we have in place with the girls. And honestly, you know, we're kind of starting to look like the boys basketball team with the number of coaches we have sitting over there on the bench. I'll have to give Coach Nunley a hard time.
Yeah, there were a few games in the last few years when I think we had eight assistant coaches and only 3 players. Because of injuries, you only had about 3 players sitting on the bench a game or two. But and it sounds like girls golf team is off to a good start this year. They won a tournament today, I understand, and had and the medalist in the tournament was a freshman for LCS.
Well, yeah, I believe we had 2 medalists. So Olivia Lovegrove won the golf tournament as a freshman, and then Maya Kushak finished 5th. And so once again, Lisa Van Ostren's building a golf dynasty.
And Maya's just a sophomore, right? So
yeah, yep.
And the Crusaders, of course, had a couple of their girls on last year's team that are playing in college now, Taylor Van Ostrand and Sarah Morden. Power sets. Cunningham swings. Now Darst up to Power.
Nice quick set. Haley with a great attack.
And Dahlman is going to get the kill. Back in front, Crusaders. So this one, this is one where at this point, if either team gets a little bit of a run, that's going to give them some separation.
Yeah,
Crusaders are hoping for that right now, and a great serve by Ehlers.
Yep, make them play it. Make them earn their points. That's out.
And a long hit by number 6, Pribble.
If I'm Coach Bartels, I'm just calling up right now. Just get the serve in and make them play it.
And Meyer sets across to number 7, Hansen. And off the block and down, Concordia with the point.
I couldn't quite see who that kill was, either number 11, Lily, or number 3.
Yeah, I think it was Meyer.
Lily Meyer, yeah, once again, just having a really strong game.
This is Elena Lewis serving. And Dahlman off the block and down, and that is Ralphs and Pribble with the block. And now we're tied again. So again, Crusaders were up by 2. We're tied at 19. We'll see who the first team to 20 is. Wiltfong, just long.
You know, I think we've called that play 2 times here in a row, and the only way you get better at it and confident is by running it. So didn't work the first time. I like to see they came back to it.
And Brielle Power sends it across.
Brielle just very quietly having a great game.
That hit kind of reminded me of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's hook shot. Just kind of hooked it over the head and down. So
yep. Ooh, right there was a skimmer.
And there you go. That is the point for the Crusaders, and they're back on top.
Let's see if Haley can't string a couple together here again. She's been serving down this left sideline over and over again. And there it comes again.
Power
nice
to
set.
Wiltfong, and Jenna gets the point for the Crusaders.
What a great set by Brielle. And again, that is Jenna's third kill of the set.
Concordia will take the timeout. So while we have a minute here, we'll take a look at the preseason ratings in Class C1 in volleyball. The defending champ, Lincoln Lutheran, they start off at number 4, but of course they lost Mariah Buss. They lost 600 kills from last year's team.
Yeah, that's always tough to replace potentially one of the strongest players in the entire state.
And the team that they beat in the championship game last year was St. Paul, and St. Paul starts the year at number 1 this year, and I think they had almost all of their starting team back from a team that finished 35-1 last year.
Wow.
And Wahoo is second, and Wahoo with some great players. Matter of fact, they've got the coach's daughter, Maya Larson, just a junior, and then their setter. I'm trying to remember what her name is, but she's going to go play at USC next year. She's a senior this year. Grand Island Central Catholic third, and they won the championship in C2 last year, and they moved back up to C1 this year. Then Lincoln Lutheran, Broken Bow, Hastings St. Cecilia, another team that moved up from C2 to C1. Wayne, Columbus, Lakeview, Bishop Newman, and Sydney. So Class C1 is loaded this year.
That really is.
And Wiltfong with a strong swing, and she's got the kill.
And that's Jenna coming with some authority. Right there, what we want to see out of her with her 4th kill of the night. It's timely.
So that's about the strongest hit we've seen tonight. And that's a good one, too, to just kind of really get the whole team fired up, and the bench as well.
Yeah, and Haley on a great service streak here of 4 consecutive serves, making them play it and placing it carefully. Let's see if we can't finish it here.
So Lincoln Christian 1 point away from tying us at a set apiece.
And she does it.
And another ace, and right down that line again, but Concordia can't play it. So Lincoln Christian battles back. Similar score. The first one went to Concordia 25-20 or 25-19, and this one goes to LCS 25-20. So we'll take a break and be back with set 3 in just a bit. All right, set number 3 is coming up. The Crusaders took set 2. And, we were talking about changing ends, and there are some gyms, though, where Omaha Concordia is one of them, where they have their student section on the end line, and they put the visiting team in set 1 right in front of the Concordia students, and I'm sure they're trying to intimidate our servers when they're back there.
Yeah, I think there's a piece to that some schools try to do. I don't know how much impact that really has. Before this game, they wanted us to move our cheerleaders from away from behind their players, I think more out of the fact that their players are unmasked, and even though our cheerleaders are masked. But the reality is the way we had it set up was to minimize as much contact between communities as possible, because their fans actually have to walk by to get to the bathroom. But again, both people are masked this way, and we're fine. But
so Meyer with a couple of serves for Concordia to give them a 2-point lead early. Wiltfong in the middle. Wiltfong again, and she's got a kill in the back corner. And Brielle Power will serve first for Lincoln Christian. And Meyer with the dump, and she's got the kill.
Heads up play, just seeing that gap in the middle.
This is Kaylin Pribble, a freshman. Darst to Power to Wiltfong, and another good hit by Jenna Wiltfong. Jenna's warming up tonight here.
Yep.
And I think, we talked early on in that first set, Crusaders with a few communication mistakes, I think, and I think they've cleaned up some of that as we've gone on, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Cunningham with a nice serve. Meyer sets, and the swing from Snyder. And now Power sets, and Ehlers with the kill.
Again, just a set right on the money, so Addie can tee off on it if you want. And, again, as a setter, you're just looking to put a ball up there with no spin on it, and she could just go to task with it.
Cunningham serves, and that finds the hole. And that was a communication mistake for Concordia. DeStefano and Snyder, a couple of freshmen, and they did not communicate. The ball dropped right down between them.
Be great to see Sarah get going. She's really got a powerful serve here.
And another ace, 2 in a row, and this time it goes on the other side between DeStefano and Hansen. We were talking about some of the other top teams in Class C1 tonight, a game that's going on that I would love to see. And Cunningham just wide, right over the top and out. But Lincoln Lutheran, rated 4th in C1, is taking on Waverly tonight. Waverly is 2nd in Class B.
Wow. Well, guess you're going to find out early right where you're at.
Yeah. That's Snyder with the serve. Wiltfong swings. And Cunningham can't get back to grab that ball, and it goes down for the point to tie the game, 5-5. And Waverly, they've got a heck of a team this year. They've got a couple of Husker recruits on their team, and they're still rated 2nd in Class B because Omaha Skutt is a clear number 1. Omaha Skutt actually is rated number 1 in the country in the USA Today Top 25. So
really,
yeah. And they've got net violation on Concordia, gives the point to Lincoln Christian. Scott has, I want to say, at least 3 Division I players on their team, including Lindsey Krause, who's going to come to Nebraska next year and is the number 1 rated high school senior in the country this year.
Well, that's something definitely about Nebraska and just the tradition of volleyball.
Yeah.
It's nice that we're keeping our homegrown recruits. Now if we just let them play.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's you talk about college volleyball. Nebraska's got a national championship caliber team this year. It would just be a shame if there won't be any national championships to play in.
Yeah, sometimes I don't think people understand just how devastating consequences those decisions have and how much of your life you put in to be that level of an athlete.
Well, the thing at the college level, they've talked about, there's a nice serve from Darst. Meyer sets and a hit into the net by Ralphs. But they talk about how they're going to give everybody an extra year of eligibility. But the problem that causes in all of these sports is you have freshmen you recruited that would be coming in next year, and then now you got too many players. What are you going to do with everybody?
Absolutely, and only so many scholarships and only so much money to go around.
And Ehlers just long. That one actually, when she hit it, I thought that was going to be way long, but it kind of came down a little bit like a rainbow, but just was past the end line.
I think Addie just a little bit there didn't get back on her normal approach there a little bit. Just see our girls hanging in there. They're competing hard and going at it, but.
And that is Pribble into the block and down. Lincoln Christian up now by 2. It's 9-7 in set 3. So the one thing with the Crusaders again tonight, no subbing so far on the varsity team. Yeah. And that may be okay when you're playing one match at night, but when you got a tournament on Saturday where you're going to be playing 4 matches, even though they're all just best 2 out of 3, why that is going to be a challenge. I think you're almost going to have to do a little bit of subbing along the way to give some of your girls a little bit of a rest.
Well, I would agree with that, and I think also even if you go in a 5-setter here, you're going to have some conditioning take place that's going to influence a little bit, and at the same time, you want those girls prepared if there ever comes a time where you have to call upon them. So
right. And Ehlers, and that one is wide. So both teams have had their share of service errors tonight. I don't know if they're equal or not, but it's maybe close. DeStefano serving. Mustangs down by 3, and that's another service error. How many times do you see that in a match, though, where you have back-to-back service errors? One team does one, and then the other team turns around and does it.
Well, obviously you can tell first game of the year for these teams, and in regard to the serving, the play all around has been pretty good, but the serving definitely, I think, whether it's nerves or what it is, hasn't been great.
There's Cunningham to Power. She tries the dump and gets the kill.
Oh, great play there again. She likes that little left hand Kareem Abdul-Jabbar move you were talking about, with another kill with it.
I'm like, people are saying, who the heck is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Lou Alcindor?
Right, yeah.
Maybe that helps.
There's Cunningham, and she's got the kill off the touch. And down, it's Crusaders with a big 6-point lead. I believe this is the biggest lead we've had at any point tonight.
Absolutely. Great to see Sarah really go after and swing there. I think she's got a lot of upside.
Oh. And then a service error.
Again, just building on those moments where you're starting to pull away and making them have to play the ball. We're giving back some easy ones.
Lily Meyer serves. Darst up to Power, to Wiltfong. And Jenna with another kill. How many has she got tonight?
She had 4 in the second set, 2 in the third here. And looking for my notes in the first, I believe she had 3. So we're looking at about 9 kills on the night.
And then Brielle Power with the service error. So yeah, Jenna's almost in double figures here. So for Concordia, their next match, they play Columbus Scotus, another Centennial Conference team. Wiltfong in the middle, and this one comes down on the wrong side of the net for the Crusaders.
I think she just kind of misgauged where she was at there a little bit.
And that's Pribble with the serve. On the overpass, Concordia plays it, but Lincoln Christian keeps it up. A little punch by Wiltfong, and now Cunningham will swing.
Out
And
of
she's got the kill.
Sarah with 2 kills here in the third set.
So it's next Tuesday night. Concordia will have their home opener against SCOTUS. SCOTUS is one of the contenders in the Journal Star Top 10, along with Kearney Catholic and Syracuse, a couple other teams on the Crusaders' schedule.
Man, another just very nice serve by Sarah Cunningham.
Cunningham with the ace.
That's Sarah's 3rd ace this set.
Timeout Concordia. They're down by 6 here in set number 3. We're tied 1 set apiece. And again, we heard after the first set, you heard a little bit of an interview that I think it was Teddy Ball that did the interview with Brielle Power and Sarah Cunningham. And we'll hear the rest of that tomorrow at halftime of the boys' game here on the Crusader Sports Network, as well as Kobe Hansen did a couple of interviews with Jonas Berger and Anthony Roth. So we'll hear from those guys as they get ready for the football season. Big game tonight. The Crusaders are fired up for this year. I think they've got a lot of experience. There's a big senior class that has played a lot the last couple of years, including starting quarterback Alex Cook. And, of course, Jonas Berger, a big contributor last year. Also, you've got Ethan Barrier. He's not a senior. He's a junior this year. But Crusaders have some good talent. We'll see what it looks like on the field tomorrow.
Well, you can just keep on naming names. You got Josh Free and just honestly just is a little bit of a freak on the field. He's going to be a great player to watch this year. Gunnar Dwark is returning.
Right.
Coach Earl has just done a really nice job getting this group of kids to buy in, and I honestly believe, God willing, if we get to have a season and play it all the way through, that people are going to be a little shocked by the Lincoln Christian Crusader football team.
Tomorrow they start with Syracuse. The Rockets actually went 0-9 last year. Lincoln Christian 1-8, although I think that's a little bit deceiving. Cunningham with a good dig in the back. Now Power keeps it up, and Cunningham punches it over. And that swing is long, but a touch by the Crusaders, so the point goes to Concordia. But Lincoln Christian 1-8, but there were 3 or 4 games they lost that they really were in until late in the game and had a chance to win. The very first game was the overtime loss to Platteview last year.
Yeah.
They actually played Kearney Catholic, one of the, ended up being in the top 10 at the end of the year. We played them very close, lost by, I think, 10 or 12. And so if some of those games go your way this year, the Crusaders could have a good season.
You bet. Keith, and great swing there by Addie Ehlers, and that's what we want to see. But you're right. I do believe there was 4 games where we lost by 10 points or less that were decided in the last couple possessions. And I may be wrong and just hopefully humbly confident in our kids, but I don't think it's going to come down to last-second possessions this year if they play smart and together. 'Cause they're a talented crew and they've put in the effort.
And the Crusaders again. And now we're at 19-13. Lincoln Christian on top.
Jenna with a nice serve.
And a good swing, but a long swing from Eva Hansen. Crusaders and Concordia could actually end up playing again in about 9 days because both teams are in the Wahoo tournament. On Labor Day weekend, so we'll see if they match up there or not. And Jenna a little bit low. She's had a great night serving. It's been a good tight serve all night long, and that one did not get past the net, so it'll go to the Mustangs. Crusaders first to 20 in this one, though. They're up 20-14.
Yeah, let's see us close here. As a young team, these are great opportunities to learn how to win and learn how to close out a game. Nice swing.
And Meyer back to Pribble, and that one just finds the sideline for a point for the Mustangs.
Pribble as a freshman, you can just tell, just kind of even building confidence as this game goes on. You've noticed that as they've subbed in the other freshman that we mentioned, number 13. I'm trying to think of her name.
Brooklyn Snyder.
Yeah, Brooklyn Snyder. You've seen these girls just kind of growing in their confidence as, it takes those experiences to grow.
And 2 in a row for Concordia, so they're up now they're down 20-16, and probably a good timeout by Coach Bartels. Stop a run here.
I do. I think an excellent timeout. A lot of times you see coaches, I think, wait a little bit too late. And at 2016, really good timeout. Get them calmed down, and let's finish this thing out.
So we talked about the ratings for Class C1 and Class B. Again, I think Class B could end up being a stronger class than Class A this year because you've got Omaha, Scott, Waverly, and Norris at the top. Norris is going to have a good team. They got a lot of girls back from last year. And then number 4 is Grand Island Northwest, and they always have a strong program. Omaha Duchesne, they were in the semifinals of the state tournament last year. Elkhorn, Platteview, Seward, Hastings, and Ashland Greenwood is 10th. So Ashland Greenwood in volleyball at least moved up to Class B this year. They might be one of the smallest schools, I'm guessing, but
well, their district is really growing. They've, one of the obstacles they had to tackle was the ability to get in housing developments, and they've done that. And they've jumped up about 200 students in enrollment in just a couple years. So
wow.
I think
they've got, they're in a good location, as far as families that might work in Lincoln or Omaha and want to live in a community like that. So,
well, and I think a big thing coming up for their community right now is they're putting before their community a $60 million bond to build a new middle school and elementary, and because of the growth, and we'll see how their community responds.
Now, if you had $60 million for facilities here, you probably wouldn't even be able to spend it all, would you?
Well, I tell you what, as a superintendent at Ashland Greenwood, I could just increase the tax levy when we needed money. Here, obviously, we just have, God blesses us through incredible people that are more than gracious and invested in being ambassadors for Christ and His kingdom. So it's
you just instead of increasing the tax levy, you got to increase Mark Powell's workload and make him work a little harder, right?
Yep. Increase our phone calls and our coffee meetings. And
so that one goes just wide. Crusaders still with a 4-point lead, though, and just 3 from taking set number 3 and a big 2-1 lead. This is Alana Lewis, a senior. She will serve for Concordia.
They've specifically subbed her in to serve tonight, and she has done a good job. She's very consistent.
Good swing from Pribble, but Lincoln Christian is under it. Now Darst sends over a free ball. Pribble again, and she's down this time.
I tell you what, that young lady is building confidence. She's a completely different player in set 3 than she was set 1. And again, that's, first time is on the varsity court, and she's rising to the challenge.
And Brielle Power with the kill. And that one was more or less, Brielle really didn't have a lot of choice. I don't think where the ball was at, it would have been a little difficult to get a good set for somebody to swing.
And I don't think people realize how athletic of a play that is, where you got a ball flying past your head and you got to jump up and place it right where you want. And she's just a talented athlete.
So, again, we were talking a little bit about facilities here, and the Crusaders do have Lincoln Christian has a big campaign underway to try to build some new facilities here. The Shields Center, we've got a nice commitment from Shields. And if we can go out and raise some other funds, tell us a little bit about what will be included in that facility.
Yeah, well, ultimately, it's going to be a multi-purpose training facility. So we'll have a full-size gym, the opportunity for volleyball courts, the ability for dropping down nets and doing, even practicing golf and tennis indoors with a location for our wrestlers and our cheerleaders. And part of that plan, too, is actually 3 classrooms. As our school just past 3 years until this year, just the highest enrollment in school history, and we've seen God continue to bless that. We have actually 100 new students in our school this year, if you can believe that, preschool through 12th grade. And so exciting things ahead.
Dahlman gets that kill, and now you've got set point for the Crusaders to take a 2-1 lead. And an ace for Addie Ehlers. Took a little bit off that one and dropped it right down. Lincoln Christian. These scores have all been very similar. The Crusaders took that one 25-19 after winning the second set 25-20, and Concordia took the first 25-19. We'll be back in just a bit.
My name is Dave Lockridge, and this is my wife, Courtney.
We have 3 kids, Avery in 8th grade, Owen in 4th grade, and Griffin in 1st.
I just like knowing that when I drop my kids off each day, the teachers, the administration are all gonna love on them, they're gonna pray with them, and they're gonna teach them God's Word.
The community at Lincoln Christian is unlike any other. It is such an amazing small family that rallies around, that loves, that cares for when you're down and out, when you're hurting, and when you need people. This community, there's nothing like it.
Sportsmanship revolves around the student section, athletes, coaches, and most of all, parents.
Know your role as a spectator and positively contribute your part.
Cheer for your team instead of cheering against the opponent. No championship is worth more than your character.
We ask all involved to choose your colors wisely and show support in a positive way.
Hi, I'm Mark Powell, as Director of Stewardship and Advancement here at Lincoln Christian School, and thank you for watching Strive TV on the Crusader Sports Network.
All right, we are back to the volleyball game tonight. A good matchup to get us started for 2020, the Crusaders and the Mustangs. It's going to go at least 4 sets, and this is a real key set. Crusaders are up 2-1, but you really want to win this and finish it off right now. If you're Concordia, obviously you've got to win to keep things going. But then if you Concordia win this set, you've got the momentum going into set number 5. So Lincoln Christian would like to finish it right here and go home and get some rest before they got to get up and come to school tomorrow.
That's okay. We know they all look forward to coming to school in the morning. So,
yeah. Of course, things are a little different now because they're walking in with masks on, so you can't tell if they're smiling or not when they show up for school, right?
Yeah, you know what? Strange times, Keith.
And here's Brielle Power to start, and she starts with a long serve. She was unfortunately aiming for slim chickens with that serve.
You know, but what I like to see is the fact that she just has a confident smile on her face after she does it. Our kids are playing free. They're not afraid to make some mistakes, and you have to do that as a young team.
And Brielle with some hustle to get to that ball, and Haley Dahlman sends it over. And a swing into the tape, and the point goes to Lincoln Christian. 1 apiece, and Sarah Cunningham now will serve. So the Crusaders tonight have been kind of running a 6-2, I think, right, with both Sarah and Brielle doing some setting.
You know, again, I don't claim to be an expert in volleyball. I've tried to watch what they're doing. It appears, you know, that's my understanding what they were going to be running, but it really appears to me that Brielle has done most of the setting.
Yeah.
So, and Sarah has played both back row and has been an outside hitter.
And now Brielle sets for Addie Ehlers. And that one almost hits the roof, but Concordia stays with it. Easy set for Wiltfong in the middle, and that one's just wide. Jenna again trying to place it right inside the line, and it goes outside. Concordia up 3-1.
I think that's one of the things Coach Bartels has at her disposal is the fact that Brielle can actually hit well from the outside if they do want to play Sarah in the setting positions part of the game.
And that's Pribble with the serve. Good dig from Cunningham. And Darst with a swing out of the middle. And Brielle sets, and Jenna drops it.
With finesse.
So Jenna has got probably our leading hitter tonight, right?
She is, yep. So that's her first set, her first kill of the 4th set. And if I have her right with 3 kills in the first set, that puts her at 10, making double digits right now. Again, I'm not our official statistician.
And that one just finds the back line from Lewis.
Once I run out of fingers and toes, it's going to get hard for me here.
That's Brooklyn Snyder in to serve. And another service error. So I think both teams are probably up to about a dozen errors tonight. But again, they have, it's not necessarily exactly the same, but they have pretty much canceled each other out, I think.
Yeah. You know, it feels like Concordia on the side of serving, maybe even a little more in there. Like right there,
Yeah.
Snyder was brought in specifically to serve, and it didn't work out for her. But again, those experiences for those young players are going to pay off for them as they move forward.
4 apiece. Darst with the serve. And an ace right off Pribble and down.
Looked like a little bit of a knuckleball. Great serve by Paisley.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't called her name a lot tonight, but the reality is she's just a steady passer, a good defensive player, and just very consistent.
And a great dig by Wiltfong. And a point for the Crusaders.
Haley Dahlman stepping back up with a kill.
And Paisley will go back to serve again. Crusaders now up by 2. And an ace for Paisley. Right off Jenna Ralphs and down. And I know it's only one match, but boy, you sure love to win that season opener.
Oh,
a little bit low, and point for Concordia. Crusaders can start the season 1-0. That gives them a little momentum headed to Minden on Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely, Keith. You know, I've always been a firm believer that winning is a mindset. And so if you can come out here and get your first victory, it'd do wonders for these girls. And
Concordia stays with that one, sends it back over. Power will set across for Ehlers.
What a nice set.
Right between DeStefano and Ralphs.
Allie Ehlers with a great swing. Her first kill of the 4th set.
And here we go. Ehlers back to serve. And we just can't stand prosperity. 8-6.
I'm still in the signals when we are calling spots from the coaching bench. And so, you know, I think, again, you know, just some of those first game of the year jitters.
And that's number 14 serving. I'm not sure who that is. We don't have it on the program, but good hustle by Lincoln Christian. Here comes, into the net. I thought Sarah was going to have a good swing at it, but that is a point for Concordia, and they are back within 1.
I don't see number 14 either.
And Dahlman off the block and out.
Nice to see Haley swinging that way. That's her second kill here in the 4th set, and a couple near back-to-back. Haley, let's see if she goes down that left line again. And there it goes. Oh, let's use it.
Power for Wiltfong in the middle. Meyer across to Pribble. And Pribble finds the hole, finds the donut, as they say.
We transitioned just a little bit back into rotation there, a little bit slowly. You know, they were off the net, and I think you got to see that the tip's probably coming there.
Abby DeStefano to serve. And she gets that skimmer.
Ah, yes.
9-9.
She just has a fun name to announce for you.
Right. So Lincoln Christian will take the timeout. Crusaders led 8-5. And since then, it's been a 4-1 run for Concordia. Crusader football team, again, they play Syracuse tomorrow. Let's just take a look at the district for this year, because this was a new cycle year for football. You play the same teams 2 years in a row, and then you get a new district. I mean, some of the teams could be the same, but the district this year for the Crusaders, we've got the Auburn Bulldogs, Fairbury Jeffs, Falls City Tigers, Milford Eagles, and the Nebraska City Pioneers. So those are most of those teams were in our district last year, I think. I don't think Milford was. Lincoln Lutheran has dropped to Class C2 this year, so I think they were in our district the last couple of years, and they've dropped back to C2.
Yep, we've added a couple new ones, I believe, with Columbus Lakeview and Fort Calhoun.
Right. Our non-district games.
Yep, up at the front. Okay.
DeStefano with a nice serve. Cunningham, a good swing, and that one looked like it was in, but the line judge says just long. 10-9 Concordia. And that one is wide.
I tell you, Keith, that's has been a storyline.
Yep. And you know what, though? Again, if these teams were playing in mid-October like we have the last few years before last year, why you may see a different kind of a game. But then again, there could be other issues. At that point, you might also, one team or the other, might have some injuries, and so you never know. That point is going to go to Lincoln Christian.
Do you know what was called there?
I don't.
That makes two of us.
Yeah. So Brielle back to serve. Crusaders up 11-10. Snyder with a good overhand or overhead hit. Ehlers goes and gets that one. Darst over to Cunningham. Off the fingertips and down. Sarah with another kill.
A nice kill for Sarah, actually her third in the fourth set. And it was nice to see her just take a controlled swing that time and place it where she needed to.
And Power serves again. Crusaders by 2. And that one just long. Crusaders smart to let that one go. It's always, you got to make a split-second judgment as to whether you need to go back and try to track down a ball like that or whether you just let it go and hope it ends up out of bounds.
You bet, absolutely. That ball was kind of just floating weird, almost like a knuckleball as well.
So we'll take a look at some of the other things coming up. Crusader activities on Saturday. Again, we mentioned the volleyball team at Minden for a tournament. Boys tennis will be out at Grand Island for a tournament. Then next week on Monday, girls golf with a tournament at the Crooked Creek course. And JV football with their first game at Douglas County West. Tuesday, volleyball team will be at Fremont Bergen for JV and varsity games. And by the way, Fremont Bergen is one of the newest Strive schools.
Oh, really?
So you should be able to see the varsity game on the Bergen Strive Network. Just go to strive.tv/Archbishop-Bergen to check that out. Next Thursday, the 3rd, girls golf at Woodland Hills against one of the, probably the newest high school in the state, Elkhorn North. Boys tennis up at Omaha against Brownell Talbot. Junior high football will be hosting Auburn that night, and the cross-country teams will be out at meet at Concordia University in Seward.
So I think what I hear you saying is we have a little bit going on in the next couple of weeks.
Just a little.
Exciting times.
Good swing by Pribble, and she has the kill for Concordia.
Pribble really doing a nice job, but I tell you, that was a good run there by Brielle, just real consistent with their serve.
Lily Meyer, the setter, is back to serve.
A little different receiving lineup here.
And just a bit of an overpass, and was that Pribble? I think she took advantage of that. So Meyer and Brielle Power, very similar. Both of them are the setters, for their primary setters for their team, but also great hitters as well. Brielle tracks that one down, and Darst sends over a free ball. Meyer sets across to Pribble, and definitely this is a rotation you want to get Concordia out of because they've got Pribble over on that outside hitter position right now, and they've come back to tie it. Crusaders had a 3-point lead, and we're tied at 13 halfway through set number 4. Lincoln Christian up 2-1, and that one hugs that net, goes over and down for an ace for Meyer.
You know, not only is Pribble getting hot, but you know what? Concordia as a team recognizes it, and they're willing to continue to feed her here. So you're right. We need to get out of this rotation.
And Cunningham does it. Oh, no, we got a, well, either way, we got a point. There was a net violation on Concordia.
Okay.
So that sends Cunningham back for the serve.
Was that Sarah with the kill there?
Yep.
So Sarah with 4 kills here in the 4 set, really coming on strong.
Oh, and that one only needed about 2 inches, and that would have gotten over. Kaylin Pribble, 6-foot freshman. So the good news, she's serving. The good news for the Crusaders, she's in the back row. And Wiltfong with a good strong swing, and that'll be a kill for Jenna.
Yeah, great swing by Jenna. A back set from Brielle right on the money. And we got Jenna here to serve now at a big time, 15-15.
And she gets the call from assistant coach Sarah Jones. I think Sarah's the one over there, right, making the serving calls?
Yep, either that or she's the decoy, but I'm pretty sure she's the one doing it.
And another error on the service line for the Crusaders. Brings the Mustangs back within 1. Brooklyn Snyder serves. Lob serve. Cunningham to Power to Ehlers. And off the block and out. 16 all. I might have misspoke there. I might have said Concordia was down by a point. I can't remember what I said, but anyway, we're tied now.
You bet. Great swing by Addie. That's her 2nd kill in the 4 set that I have. And Paisley, I think, is probably as consistent server we have here to have a chance to have a run.
And that serve, if you watch that serve, it's probably kind of hard to tell if you're watching online, but it looked like the ball was not spinning at all. It was just, I don't know how to describe it. That one has a little bit of a spin, but that first one, the ball was just not moving. It was moving, but it wasn't moving.
There we go. Paisley getting the job done, what we need. Just a good, consistent serve and making them play it. So far, that's 2 in a row.
Crusaders up by 2 and an ace.
That's the skimmer we needed as it gazed the net. Just rubbed right over it.
Each team with 1 timeout. Looking at Coach Rick Hughes to see if he's going to use his last timeout for Concordia. He doesn't. And Darstov, Concordia plays it. Good hustle, but then into the net by Jenna Relfs. And now he is going to have to use that timeout. 2016.
This is our chance for our cheerleaders to get the little motivation going in the gym here. Isn't it fun to see them back at it?
Yeah.
With their clear face masks. Just for those viewing at home saying,
so
hey, why are those cheerleaders
right.
not wearing face masks? It's not because they all went to the orthodontist.
Yeah, you know, at first I looked at that and I'm like, they're all wearing their masks down under their chins, but they've got those clear masks.
Kind of looks like those, those braces that people wear.
So tell us a little about the beginning of the school year. Obviously, with the coronavirus, things are a lot different. You do have an option for online remote learning for families. And how many families roughly are using that option?
Yeah, we have under 20 families in the entire school using that. Ultimately, what we do is we require masking upon arrival and in the hallways when we're not able to social distance. But once we're in the classroom and seated, then we're able to remove our masks and go about our business. And our preschool actually saw a decrease in enrollment right at first, but what we see is as people are understanding this virus a little more and the fear subsiding, we're starting to see these families re-enroll. And so this has been a big week alone just in that. And I think we're going to see more of that as people understand this a little bit better.
And Concordia out of the timeout. They get the point, 20-17. And that is Waddington serving. Power sets for Dahlman. Off the tip. And the mysterious number 14 with the hit there. Meyer for Ralphs in the middle, and she has the kill.
Probably going to be a timeout coming here if I Well, maybe one more. Hopefully we get this point here and change them up.
Nope, now she is going to take it now.
Just took a little bit for my headset to get to her.
Yeah. So we will take a look at some of the other top 10s. We talked about B and C1, C2. The top 10 has Norfolk Lutheran Northeast at number 1 to start the season, followed by Overton, Superior. Of course, Superior had Kaylin Meyer, who was the do-everything senior, who's now on the Husker volleyball team, but she has a younger sister, I think, who is still there, and so they've got some good athletes. Howells Dodge at number 4, and they've got a couple of girls that were at Malcolm that transferred there, the Baumert sisters. So they are at Howells Dodge this year.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that, and
Right.
I don't know the story behind that, but that is more than interesting to me.
So they are 4th this year to start the year. Norfolk Catholic, Ponca, Nebraska City Lourdes, Wisner Pilger, Thayer Central, who will be in the tournament at Minden on Saturday, and then Cross County round out the top 10 in C2. There's Meyer for Ralphs in the middle. And now Ehlers across. It's a 2-point lead for Lincoln Christian. Great save by Darst, and now Jenna's going to have to get it over, and she just does.
What a time to gaze the net. I tell you what, once again, just suddenly just kind of goes without notice, and you don't call her name a lot, but Paisley just keeping that play alive. And she has great anticipation of where the ball's going to be.
And I think the, when she hit that, I'm like, that's not going to get across the net, but it did.
That's the weight room all summer paying off.
And Dahlman with a good hit.
That's 4.
And it's a 2-point or a 4-point lead for Lincoln Christian, 3 from the win. And every point is just worth 1 point, but that last point that got us from a 2018 lead to 21-18, if that had gone the other way and then the lead was down to 1, well, that could be the turning point here in this 4th set.
Yeah, that definitely felt like a big point. And Addie just a good cautious serve. And that's out, no touch, I don't think.
Yep. And Lincoln Christian now just 2 away. 5-point lead, no times out for Concordia, so they're going to have to play this one out.
I'm Coach Jones, pardon me, I used her maiden name. I was just going to say that I'm calling just a steady, consistent serve and getting it in and making them play, because you can see the Concordia girls are feeling just a little bit nervous right now.
Eva Hansen is in. She'll serve for the Mustangs. Crusaders 2 points away. Official checking the lineup here.
Is that a way to get a unofficial timeout? Or
It might be, yeah.
Kind of like with Friday Night Football, it's watch how many leg cramps we see.
Right. Yeah, when the temperature is 95 degrees, why they may be real or they may not be real. But so here we go. Hansen will serve for Concordia. Great serve, but a great dig by Cunningham, and that'll be an ace for Hansen. That one came up a little bit shorter than we thought. Cunningham, or no, that was Darst, I think.
Yes,
that got under that, yeah.
Once again, honestly, kept the ball alive. I think it could have been played. And
that one goes to Paisley as well, up to Brielle and over to Sarah. And Lincoln Christian is at match point.
That's just what we want to see right there. A great pass, a great set, and a good swing. Haley Dahlman, I'm going to call it, serving down the left line here for the game.
And there she goes. No, she goes down to the middle. Stefano to Meyer and over to Pribble off the block. And the Concordia stays alive.
Well, here's where we'd like, those service woes that have been plaguing them. This is the time where they're going to have to step up and get it in. And our girls just need to calmly make a great pass here.
And I think Concordia is a little confused here. Now, who's serving? Okay, it looks like it's Snyder who goes back to serve.
Okay, last time, if you remember, she tried a real aggressive jump serve. I'm curious to see what she's going to do here when the game's on the line. I don't know what official Russell is doing over there. That's Isaac Russell. But I got to remind him you only get a certain level of timeouts in this game tonight.
Well, I think the the libero started to come off. Then she started to go back like she was going to be serving. And then, so I think, and she is serving.
Okay. Interesting. Well, this is the one with the fun.
And Crusader fans on their feet. See if we can finish this off. If you're LCS, you want to win it right here and not have to take your chances in a fifth set. If you're Concordia, your back's against the wall. So DeStefano will serve. Good serve. Dahlman is under it, though. And now Wiltfong in the middle and too long.
You know, though, Keith, I'm glad to see her swing aggressively at it. What a great up by Haley Dahlman in an awkward position. And we're going to get another chance at it here. She served aggressively, too, which puts them at a real potential of catching the top of the net here. That was close.
And that is Ehlers in the back. Power sets. Wiltfong with a little tip.
Just a little low for
Meyer to Pribble. Great dig by Dahlman. She can't do it. And now the Crusaders just lead by one, but it still is a match point. So Concordia has battled back. They've scored the last 3 in a row.
Big serve coming up again. Can she place 3 in a row? And she does.
And power across to Cunningham, and Sarah into the net, and we are tied. So, boy, some clutch serving from the freshman, Abby DeStefano. And, boy, they have battled back.
Boy. You know, honestly, Brielle put that set right on the money again. And
Jenna comes around, swings. Good dig from Dahlman. And now Pribble with a little tap. And Jenna with a tap. And that one is out, and it goes to the Crusaders. So they are back at match point.
And you know what? I don't think you would ask for any better than having Brielle Power with a chance to serve here for the game.
And Brielle almost had an ace. Great job by Concordia to keep it up.
Here comes a middle hit. Oh, just a little out of time.
And now it'll be Cunningham again.
4.
Almost found the floor.
And
there it goes.
A game to the Crusaders.
So the Crusaders hold on after they had a 4-point lead, and they had match point. And the Concordia team battled back, tied it at 24, and then the Crusaders with the last 2 points to take a 26-24 win in set 4. And they take the match 3-1.
Yeah, just overall, I'll tell you what, go catch their breath.
Right.
Ice down. Really need to see them to perform when it mattered there, you know. I know we don't want to give up 3 points at the end, but honestly, for a young team to have that happen and play it 24-24 and then come back and win it, that's a great sign.
So Concordia took the first one, 25-19. Then Lincoln Christian 1, 2, 3, and 4, 25-20, 25-19, and 26-24. Give them some momentum as they get ready for the Minden tournament on Saturday. And what do you think Coach Bartels is telling her girls right now?
You know, I'm honestly thinking she's just focusing on all the positives. Right now, you don't need to worry about anything else other than letting these girls feel great about coming out and getting a win and just building that confidence. Again, we got a young team. We had 6 girls play the entire night, and just building that confidence in them that they can do it. And as the season goes on, we'll find out Saturday even more where we're at, because we're going to see some stiff competition. So
the next action here on the Crusader Sports Network tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central, we will have Lincoln Christian and Syracuse, first football game of the season, so join us for that. And the next volleyball action on Strive here on the Crusader Sports Network is Tuesday the 8th as we host Lincoln Lutheran. So for Zach Kassabaum and for our ace crew here, thanks tonight for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow night for football.